let's talk about baiting. Bait is something you give your opponent and see if they take the bait. And if they do, then you will use that to win. So there are many kinds of baits, but in sword fighting, we are not fishing here. Sword fighting, you typically offer something to your opponent that looks like an easy target. It can be your leg, it can be your sword hand, if the rules allow that to be hit. It can be your head. Hit me to the head. And then the opponent thinks that this looks good, too good to be true. Is it real? So depending on the skill level of your opponent, you may have to consider what they are likely to take, what kind of bait they are likely to take. But for example, putting your leg out is nice, opening your shield a little bit is nice, and you have to experiment a little bit. But that's the bait. You offer a really easy place for your opponent to hit. Now then, the idea here is that you try to make your opponent to hit that spot. Let's say it's my head. So what I'm going to do is make my legs a little bit more difficult to hit. Also everything else a little bit more difficult to hit. So maybe I'm just leaning a little bit forward like this. And from the opponent's standpoint, it looks like now that the head would be the easiest target. It's also the closest. And I'm gonna be like looking, are they going to take it or not? If you have a shield and a sword, you can close down many things and leave only one or two places open for your opponent to target, preferably only one. So when they hit that, then you have already prepared in your head your counter. So then you are going to win with the counter tactic. So for example, if I would be having a shield here in my left arm, I could have my legs a little bit way back and the shield is covering my body here, and then I put my sword up here, so it's covering my right side, and the only thing open is this place here. So I try to get the opponent to make this kind of easy strike straight away to my head from here. Everything else is closed. But now when they do it, they probably think I'm going to be lifting the shield, but actually I'm just blocking it with my sword, and then I'm going to drop my sword down and hit their leg. So it's like a BAM! And that's it. So I was baiting my head here, and then I countered just by using a basic like a block and strike. So it doesn't have to be super complicated, but this is one great way to fight, by baiting. And if you can do it correctly, it might be the easiest way to fight as well, because you only need to wait for your opponent to attack and then you will counter. It's certainly much more easier than if you are facing somebody who is baiting ahead and they are not attacking you. So the head is open, but if you're experienced, you suspect that it's going to be a bait. So in that situation, what should you do? So the counter to baiting is called feinting. So you make believe that yes, I'm gonna strike your open head, you are baiting, but in reality you are once again monitoring your opponent, because if you go there and they start the block, you are never gonna finish your strike. You are gonna switch and cut their leg, for example. So this is how you turn the tables once again. So they were baiting, easy targets. You pretend you are going to take the bait. But once they start moving, you switch to another technique. And that's how you win. So now you see, it always rotates around making the other person believe something. And when they do, then you switch to something else. So this is a little bit advanced sword fighting. Do not teach this to beginners, but it's good to understand this principle of baiting and how to counter the baiting by feinting. But if you think it like true, you will start to understand that there is no really baiting or feinting or anything like that. It's just make your opponent believe something, and when they do and react, you will then monitor and find your opponent's reaction, and then you will modify your technique on the fly to gain an advantage. And that's the tricky play with swords. All right.